This year, Norwood Community Media celebrated our 20th anniversary. And as we look back over the years, we take tremendous pride in our middle name, Community. Each week, Norwood News keeps you up to date on the news in town. But as we reflect upon the past year, the news stories that impacted us the most were the stories about the people within our community. Now, let's take a look at our community as told through the eyes of NCM. As the year began, Norwood continued to mourn the loss of Austin Reardon, a member of the Norwood High class of 2019 who was tragically killed in a motorcycle accident. During a high school hockey game, the team honored Austin with his family, friends, and teammates all present. As the year moved on, Norwood, as always, didn't forget, and he was honored once again at the Austin Reardon 5K road race, which raises funds for a scholarship in his name. I know the Reardon family. I knew Austin and his brother Aiden, as my boys both played t-ball and squirts all the way up to varsity hockey here at Norwood High. It was an honor for me to produce this special video for the Reardon family.
Norwood Walpole hockey games are always a spectacle to watch, with fans wrapped around the rink to witness these longtime rivals face off. But this game, on December 27th, 2023, was bigger than a rivalry game. The Norwood hockey community came together to honor number 30, Austin Reardon, who tragically passed away earlier in 2023 at the age of 22. Austin, his twin brother Aiden, his sister Delaney, his brother Garrett, and parents Kerry and Ed have been familiar faces at Norwood hockey games since Austin and Aiden could first lace up a pair of skates. NCM commentator Mark Hoover delivered a touching tribute to Austin before the game began.
Following in his father's footsteps, Austin gravitated towards being a hockey goalie, and once there, he threw himself into the position with a passion for the game second to none. As Austin continued to grow, so did his goaltending skills. After securing the starting goalie position at Norwood High School, he helped turn a team that had not won a single game his freshman year to missing the state tournament by 1 point his sophomore year. And Austin was not finished yet. Behind his stellar goaltending, the Mustangs made the state tournament his junior year, defeating the number 1 seeded team along the way. Another state tournament appearance followed his senior year, along with several accolades, including team captain, first team TVL All-Star, and the TVL Goalie of the Year. Austin, with his help from his brother Aiden on defense, finished his hockey career here at Norwood High School with a record of 29 wins, 23 losses, 13 ties, including 7 shutouts his senior year. Austin continued his hockey career as an honor student and was a valuable member of the Maine men's club hockey team at the time of his passing. Austin Reardon epitomized what it means to be a team captain. He had an infectious enthusiasm for life, a sense of humor that would light up any locker room, and a positive attitude that he shared with each and every teammate that ever had the privilege to play with him. Tonight, we honor the memory of Austin Reardon with the dedication of this season to number 30. As part of Austin's lasting memory, a scholarship has been started in his name, and tonight we'll find raffle items in the lobby to help support this most worthy cause.
Aiden Reardon was led out to center ice by senior captain Andrew Gillis for a ceremonial puck drop to get the game started. After the first period, Aiden joined Mark Hoover and Sean Hennessy in the commentary booth to talk about what it was like playing on defense for the Mustangs with Austin in net behind him.
Joining us this afternoon, it's just a true privilege to see this young man. Mr. Aiden Reardon, puck drop number 8, class of 2019. Can you hear us okay, my friend?
I can hear you guys.
Oh, perfect. Welcome. Listen, a really touching ceremony today for you and for your family. It's just so nice to be back, here at the rink. Tell us, obviously, as your twin brother, what it was like to play with, like right in front of Austin, right on that defense.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. I mean, or a handful of times I'm just remembering now where he bailed me out. I'd make a dumb play, he'd save me, you know. But it was so fun to play in front of him. He always amazed me every night with some of the saves that he made. He was always a great team player. You know, first one to greet the boys coming back in the locker room, despite how we played.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, I want to recant a story that I have, and I think I got it right because I verified it like 3 times. Maybe your memory's not as good as everybody else's, but when you guys were sophomores, we had a game at Badgeco against Needham. And so in that game, I was just talking to Sean Monroe before we came in, and he said he thinks, his recollection is, Austin let in a goal that wasn't the best. He and Austin kind of got into it in between periods about, well, you know, if you did your job and blah, blah, blah. So fast forward to the end of that hockey game, and again, Mr. Hoover brought it up. You know, we're 0-19-1 the year before. You guys are sophomores, and we're fighting these Bay State teams just to get back to relevance. And I'm sitting in the stands, probably next to your mother, because I stood next to her a lot. And we're probably sitting there praying that we somehow hang on and win. And I think Needham had a man advantage at the end of the game. And there's a bang-bang play to end the game where Needham has the puck come across. And your brother does a split that I don't think anybody could ever do. And he saves a puck with like a minute left to preserve a 3-2 win. Do you remember that game at all?
I remember it exactly.
Was I right?
Yeah. Oh, 100% right. And yes, he was the first one to greet the boys, but we would get into it too. I mean, we would get into it, especially me and him and Sean as well.
Right.
But yeah, exactly right. Like when he let in a soft one, we let him know it. But then, like you said, I think it was a 1-goal game. I want to say it was 3-2. Yeah.
I verified it. I verified with Charlie Gover and PJ.
3-2. I was on the ice, slid across, and oh my God! Like I was like, my jaw dropped. But yeah, he got one back, and we held on to the game.
But you had to know how bad we were the year before, and how much like that win meant so much for you guys.
Meant so much, especially Needham kicked their butts the year before, and so it was definitely a big win.
And then the other really memorable moment I have of your brother is that same season when we played the undefeated Walpole team. Do you remember that Super 8 Walpole team?
Yes,
that was 20-0, and we played. I think this same time it was like a New Year's Eve game. We lost 3-2, and Austin was just unbelievable in that game, just keeping us in that hockey game. I don't know if you remember that or not, but
I do.
It was a packed rink like this, and he was at the top of his game that day.
Yeah,
It was a great day.
It was a great day. It was great to see. It was always, like I said, always a great time to play in front of him, especially with the Norwood sweater, all the boys we grew up playing with, you know, and that's why today was such a great moment to just, like you said, come back on the Norwood ice, Norwood versus Walpole. I mean, it's legendary, and like to see the young faces put on the jersey. I mean, I remember when we were doing it. Right. So I was very grateful for the organization to do that for me and my family. Yeah.
Norwood was down 1-0 after 1, but didn't let Walpole score another until the Mustangs had scored 5 themselves. A perfect ending to a special night, the Norwood Mustangs defeated Walpole 5-3. NCM is honored that we were able to be there for this night, celebrating not only an excellent hockey player, but an incredible person.
In the summer of 2023, Austin Reardon, a member of the NHS class of 2019, died in a tragic accident. He was a captain of the Mustang hockey team, and last winter, the team honored him with a special ceremony in front of a packed crowd of family, friends, and teammates. This spring, over Columbus Day weekend, the Austin Reardon Scholarship Foundation organized a road race fundraiser for a scholarship that will be awarded to a member of the class of 2025.
So today we are having our first annual road race for the Austin Reardon Memorial Scholarship Foundation in honor of Austin Reardon, who is a graduate of Norwood High, class of 2019, and a rising senior at UMaine that passed away last year in the summer of 2023 in a highway accident. This event is to help the community bring closure or address the pain that they have here, but also really just get everybody together to celebrate his life. The purpose really is to continue to raise money in his name for a scholarship. So starting with the class of 2025, this event will be raising a $20,000 scholarship that will go to one senior graduate, so it'll be payable in 4 years of $5,000. And any money we raise above that, we will also be giving one-time awards to students. In addition, as many of the registered participants that we have for both the runners and walkers, we will also be donating a pair of socks in Austin's name to the Pine Street Inn. So it's a Kerry and Ed Reardon, who set up the scholarship, foundation, really intent was to continue to give back in Austin's name. And that's what we're doing through this road race. We're going to bring the community together, we're going to raise a scholarship, and we're also going to donate socks in his name to the Pine Street Inn and any other shelters in the surrounding area.
The cheerleading team from Dedham High, coached by Austin's classmate and prom date, Allie Kelleher, came to show their support and to continue to shine Austin's light. His Mustang hockey teammates held a mini reunion at the race, and Austin's Little League coach, Vin Diorio, from Diorio Engineers, was a gold sponsor of the road race.
We're here as a tribute to Austin. I met Austin back in the day when I had him as a Little League player in the Norwood Youth Baseball. Had him for 3 years as a player. Got to know him again through St. Catherine's and high school, and then he went on to an engineering program, which is near and dear to my heart. That's why we're here sponsoring this event, to keep his spirit alive.
I'm here to honor and remember one of the best people that I've ever known in my entire life. He was one of my best friends in the whole wide world, and I want to remember him as always the nicest and most caring person who would also work on my car when needed.
I'm here to run and show support for our town, for our community, and just put myself through something that's not for me, it's for something bigger than me.
Yeah, as a part of our community, like getting involved in things. Austin Reardon, like he also represents our community, and like this is also for him and anyone else that was lost in our community, because it could be any one of us, so it's important to come out and show support.
As Austin Reardon's mom, Kerry, looked on and cheered, over 350 runners and walkers came together to celebrate his life and raise money for the scholarship in his name. The Reardon family would like to thank everyone who made this race possible.
Everybody looks great on this rainy day.
This year, Norwood said goodbye to 2 longtime public servants.
And the strength of our community is that there is always someone ready to fill those shoes. We said goodbye to Chief Brooks and Veterans Agent Ted Mulvihill, but welcomed Chief Padden and Derek Wennerstrand.
Today, the Norwood Police Department announced the retirement of Chief William G. Brooks III, completing over 47 years as a police officer. He began his journey with the Westwood Police Department as a patrolman before transferring to Norwood in 1982. He served in the ranks of patrolman, sergeant, and detective sergeant. He was the creator of the Norfolk County Police Anti-Crime Task Force, known as NORPAC, that now consists of 17 agencies. He became just the second Norwood police officer to graduate from the FBI National Academy. In 2000, he was appointed Deputy Police Chief for the Wellesley Police Department. His passion and commitment for Norwood and its residents never wavered, and he returned on May 1st, 2012, being sworn in as our new police chief. Over the years, Chief Brooks has been a member or sat on many committees on both a state and federal level. He has shared his knowledge by presenting in 29 states on behalf of the Innocence Project. He is a recipient of the Innocence Network's Champion of Justice Award, as well as receiving a Civil Rights Award for individual achievement from the International Association of Chiefs of Police. He had served as president of the Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association and currently sits on the board of directors of the International Association of Chiefs of Police. As chief, he has instituted many programs and strategies to fight crimes, and drug use was at the forefront. He was instrumental in assuring that many abusers of drugs knew where to receive treatment and would often assist enrollment into a facility. As stated, his passion for Norwood was most evident, whether being seen walking the beats, attending arrival and dismissal of schools, or walking into a business. He was accessible, always taking time to engage with everyone. It was clear, no matter what his rank, he loved being a police officer and those he commanded. Norwood 671 Chief Brooks, thank you for a job well done. You will be missed. The men and women of the Norwood Police Department wish you and your family the very best in retirement. Norwood headquarters clear.
Norwood 671 Norwood Control and the men and women of the Norwood Police Department. Thank you for that. It's been a pleasure and my honor to serve. 671 is out. Thank you, Chief. Good luck. Happy retirement, Chief. Enjoy it. Thank you, Chief. Enjoy your retirement. Thanks for everything, Chief. Happy retirement. Congratulations, Chief. Thanks for everything, Chief.
Congratulations, Chief. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chief. Thanks for everything. Congratulations, Chief. Thank you for everything. Congratulations, Chief. Thank you.
Congrats on your well-deserved retirement, Chief. Thanks.
Congratulations, Chief. Enjoy retirement.
It's a momentous occasion. We only actually appoint a police chief about every 10 or 15 years in Norwood, so we haven't done this for more than 12 years when we had Chief Brooks appointed. So it was a momentous occasion. We were glad to have Chief Padden here, to have his family here, so many members of the Norwood Police Department here, members of the community, to bring him in and to give him a good send-off to what we're hoping will be a long and successful career as Chief of the Norwood Police Department.
I, Christopher Padden.
I, Christopher Padden.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
And will support the Constitution thereof, so help me God.
And will support the Constitution thereof, so help me God.
I, Christopher Padden, do solemnly swear and affirm.
I, Christopher Padden, do solemnly swear and affirm.
That I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform.
That I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform.
All the duties incumbent on me as the Chief of Police in the town of Norwood.
All the duties incumbent on me as the Chief of Police in the town of Norwood.
According to the best of my abilities and understanding.
According to the best of my abilities and understanding.
Agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution.
Agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution.
And the laws of the Commonwealth, so help me God.
And the laws of the Commonwealth, so help me God.
I, Christopher Padden, do solemnly swear.
I, Christopher Padden, do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States, so help me God.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States, so help me God. Thank you.
It's overwhelming. It's such a huge responsibility, but we're very fortunate here in Norwood to have such good police officers. Chief Brooks has laid the groundwork for our department going forward. I've worked with him for a number of years. I'm ready to lead. It's not about me. I set the tone, I set the policy. It's about the people that do the job every day. Our officers are top-notch. The town of Norwood supports us with training, funding. We're very fortunate here. So for me, it's just going to be a lot of hard work going forward, continuing the department so that we're out in the community, we're making connections with people, we're helping people. A police department is a service agency. It's not, we don't manufacture anything, we don't sell anything, we serve people. We're a customer service agency, and we're going to continue to do that as we go forward. Hopefully we continue to have the support of the people of the town of Norwood. We're very fortunate to be in this place.
All right. Take it easy on me. It's been 10 plus years since I've done a stand-up. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Teddy Mulvihill, what a fantastic guy. One of my favorite people I've ever met in my entire life. Whenever I had the opportunity to work with Ted, Teddy, you made it really easy. You know, you're willing to play along with the bit. You brought a certain level of professionalism with yourself. Whether it be, you know, any of the parades, the ceremonies, when you got arrested for charity, and still to this day, one of my favorite things I've ever done was fly on that B-17 with you. So yeah, it just, nothing but fond memories working with you, Ted. I wish you the best in retirement. Congratulations, it's well deserved. And I think I speak for anyone that's ever met you, really. The veterans you've helped along the way, your friends, family, co-workers, really, I'm a better person for having known you. So I appreciate that, and I wish you nothing but the best in retirement. Congrats.
NCM is privileged to tell plenty of special stories.
Some of these stories involve volunteers who make the community better.
Unified is an extension of Special Olympics that is brought into the high school scene. So it was developed probably about maybe 10 years ago, but really picked up pace like over the last 5 years. And almost every team in our league has one that's in various sports. Ours happens to be in basketball. And we're hoping to get it in track this spring as well, but for right now it's basketball. And it's where you have a group of students with and without intellectual disabilities. So you have players, and then you have mentors who help the players throughout the game. So it's just a really, really cool environment.
I was doing this in middle school. Mrs. Dolliner first got me into it, and I had a ton of fun throughout the whole middle school, and I really wanted to join this year. Probably like the atmosphere, everyone like being really nice and having fun, and it's just a ton of fun.
So students with and without intellectual disabilities, they make the team and they get involved, and it's always about improving our friendships and having everyone on the team play, come as a community and play together and always have fun, and that's what makes it an awesome experience.
Yeah, I think it's everything for the community. You know, I not only are our students that are sometimes in classrooms where maybe they're not out traveling the halls as much are able to be a part of that community every day. You have our mentors who are high-fiving them just walking down the hallways and saying hi, and these kids just like, they bring such a good mood wherever they go, and it is so uplifting to the community. You know, just to see that and to see the crowds we've been getting that have come into the games and to support it, you just don't leave a game or an activity without smiling, without laughing. You know, it's all that is right in sports are with these kids.
My favorite part of Unified Basketball is the team in general. Everyone is so nice, and it's always been a good experience.
It's really cool to watch from the beginning of the season to the end, because there's, you know, they're kind of in their shells a little bit, getting to know each other, kind of know their own skills. And then by the end of it, you know, you might have kids that would be running with the ball up the court at the beginning, and now they're dribbling, you know, down the court, and they're hitting all the shots, and the people you interviewed today are two of the best at it, you know. Just finding the right angles, making sure they know where they're successful on the court. And then on the other side, like not just hitting all the shots, but getting back on defense, and even more importantly, just being such good like sportsmen and women to each other in terms of like just the best kids. Everything's great, you miss a shot, it's okay, we're gonna get them back the next time. You know, what are we gonna do on the bench? What cheers are we gonna do for the rest of the team? And that's been the really great part of it.
Coach McDonald is amazing. She's
Yeah.
a good coach.
What kind of stuff does she teach you guys?
She teaches us how to shoot.
It's taught me that it's like really nice to give back to everyone else, and to see everyone happy is just as awesome as having yourself happy.
We are lucky to partner with our friendship club with Mrs. Kelly, who's amazing. And so she has a lot of built-in friendship club activities. And a lot of the same kids that are on our team are going to those activities anyway. So we join forces, and now we have pumpkin decorating, Halloween parties. We were all dressed up in costumes. We had a few other things, like it's all just around being social with each other. We've had pizza for the crew before, so really just bringing them together as a group.
So what we did this season was we made pumpkins, we had a Halloween party, and it was fun. We did this donut eating contest where you don't have to eat, you can't eat the donut with your hands, you gotta like put your hands behind your back, and then you just eat it without touching it with your hands.
Basketball is the catalyst for it, but it's not why we're there. You know, you're gonna gain some skills, you're gonna get to play and have that competitive edge which they all have too, which is great to see. I think more importantly though, we can take you from whether you've never dribbled a ball in your life to those that know exactly what's going on and still find a place and find value within that team. And then it's way, way, way more about feeling included, accepted, getting to know people, and having just a ton of fun along the way.
Hey guys. Hey Brian. Brian, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. It's been a long time since I think the last time I saw you, you were on a float, 4th of July parade. Yelling. Well, not yelling. Yelling below you. Since you're going to be on the NCM, here's a shirt for you. You're welcome. Put it on. You're like, you'll think what's
Back, Bethany, you go.
That's what it's gonna look like.
The day-to-day work of NCM involves covering government meetings and events like graduations. While these may only appeal to the participants or those who have a vested interest, these events often lead to unexpected stories that just make us feel good.
Another May annual town meeting has come and gone. The 3 articles that were left from Monday were brought up, talked about, and approved by the town. The highlight of the night was the approval of the Tyler J. Lawrence Memorial Park that will be located at the Norwood Airport. Tyler Lawrence was a Norwood middle schooler who tragically lost his life in Mattapan over a year ago. Remy Lawrence, Tyler's mother, came to town meeting to advocate for the approval of the park.
He loved Norwood. He had a lot of friends here who continue to navigate his loss, like we all do. But he was a good boy, and he was a nice boy, and he was kind. And as I stand here in the high school, and as my dad and I drove here tonight, I couldn't help but think, I'll never get to see him be a student here. I just want you all to know that the support, the unwavering support, love, and kindness that my family and I received following Tyler's loss from you all in this town is a large part of the reason why I stand here today hoping that I appear strong and resilient. So, my family, my friends, this means more to us than I can articulate. And what it would mean to me. Tyler was my only child, and he was my parents' only grandchild. So what it would mean to me to see young people happy, enjoying themselves at a beautiful park at the Norwood Airport would just, I can't tell you what it would do for me. But I thank you all for your time, and I thank you all for your continued support and prayers because we still need them. So thank you, and I hope that you all will sincerely consider funding the Tyler J. Lawrence Memorial Park at the Norwood Airport because he really did deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lawrence. On the motion, 144 in favor, 10 opposed, 8 abstentions. Motion carries.
After town meeting had ended and the motion for the approval of the park had passed, NCM got a chance to talk with Remy and find out what this means to her and her family.
I feel extremely full of gratitude. I feel hopeful. I feel inspired. And just joyful. You know, I'm happy. I think that this gesture from the town is a testament that Tyler's life mattered and that he deserved to live a full life. And so I'm just thankful for the town for continuing to honor Tyler's life in such a profound way because he mattered.
I'm on the phone tomorrow with my playground guy getting it all set, all right?
That morning, we shared stories as us Aggie alumni do. And eventually, Mr. Sales asked me if we had any old records. And I thought to myself, we're 100 years old. We have got stuff everywhere. But I don't know what we have in storage. And not only did we find a yearbook, a class picture, a graduation program, but we also uncovered your life history folder and your final report card. And then finally, your diploma from 1963. However, in 1962, Mr. Sales enlisted in the United States Navy. And before he could receive his diploma, he was deployed to Bermuda, which he affectionately refers to as the vacation via Uncle Sam, and then eventually found himself in Vietnam. After only 1 month in Vietnam, Mr. Sales and his mates were hit by a mine, which led to Mr. Sales coming back to the States. As he healed and finished his time in the Navy, and he's finished it, ironically, on a minesweeper craft. He then stayed here in the States to raise his family. He worked in construction and has since landed in New Hampshire. So, for what is long overdue, I would like to present tonight's first diploma of the evening to Mr. Ronald Sales, class of 1962. Superintendent Martin, would you please present the diploma?
I was terrified. I was trying to remember the training we had gotten. You know, each year we review it, and so I was just trying to remember the right steps, and it was kind of just go and do the things, and I was trying not to think about it too much. My student had been enjoying a Jolly Rancher and got up from his seat and kind of squatted down and turned his back to everybody, and so I just took that as a red flag. Something was very wrong, and asked him if he was choking, and he was. It's very overwhelming. I had kind of pushed that to the back of my mind, and yeah, I'm just very grateful that everything turned out okay, and I was able to remember the right things to do and that he's safe, and yeah, I'm very overwhelmed. Thank you. That's amazing.
And I will say all of your colleagues here had the great idea to have you come down and get flowers and just celebrate you. We're so proud
All my
of
besties.
all the work, yeah. That she did. So thank you.
Since COVID, there has been an increase in mental health challenges.
2 NHS graduates and members of our community are rising to the challenge and making a difference by helping others. The first one is Andrew Cronin, who is spreading awareness for suicide prevention by doing a workout every single day in September that him and a friend call the Murph-Tember Challenge.
The second is Helena El-Doihi, who spends most of her time creating and sharing uplifting messages, both at events and on her Instagram page, Thoughts with H.
Andrew Cronin, Norwood resident and member of the NHS class of 2017, has been putting his body through the ringer every September for the last 4 years by completing the Murph Challenge. The Murph Challenge, usually done around Memorial Day and started by the Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy Memorial Scholarship Foundation, is not just a physical test, but also a mental and emotional one. Anyone who attempts the Murph is pushed to their limits by completing a 1-mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and finishing off with another mile run. Andrew found out about this workout by a friend in 2020, after the pandemic had sent everyone home.
I was studying abroad in Spain. I got sent home because COVID started. I was at the Cape with my best friend Liam McAleer. He came up to me, he's like, "You want to try out this workout? It's called a Murph." And I was like, that sounds terrible. Like, I surely can't do it, but I'll try, right? So we actually did it along the Cape Cod Canal. There was a pull-up bar there. We ran it. He was a beast. I can't even remember if I finished it. If I did, it might have taken 2 hours, but extremely grueling. It was hard. I was like, finished it, I'm never doing this again.
Andrew did do it again, every day for a month, this time in September of the same year. The question is, why? Why would anyone will themselves to go through that every single day?
And so then going into September, I was going back to school. I went to UMass and all the classes were online. And I was thinking, like, I need something that will keep me from just like sitting around the house all day, because I was never gonna leave. Me and Liam started doing them in September, and like 3 days in, he calls me, and it was brutal. The third day he calls me and he goes, "Yo, like, I don't know why we're doing this. This is so difficult that I need a reason to think about that'll keep me doing, because other than this, we're not gonna finish this. We don't have the will." And then it was his idea. He said, "September is Suicide Awareness Month. Why don't we do it for that?" And I thought it was a great idea, especially because suicide's something that's affected my family, my immediate family. My father committed suicide in 2018. So when he said that, I was like, book it. And then the rest of the month was a lot easier.
The first year, Andrew and Liam kept their reason for continuing to do it between the two of them until the end of the month. They both used social media to recap and reminisce about September and how important mental health and suicide prevention is. They counted on the workout being tough, but what they didn't count on is how much their posts could potentially help people.
Because especially for men, it's not something that gets talked about a ton. And so at the end of the month, me and Liam wrote something about suicide. It was very nice, posted on Instagram, and then I recorded a video myself for like 2 or 3 minutes talking about it. And I was so nervous when I posted, I turned my phone off, threw it away, and I turned it on again the next morning. And I had like 80 comments, and there were like 20 or 30 people DM me, and 5 or 10 of them were people that I didn't even know, just saying like how this helped them so much, and that kind of blew my mind. So after that was the first year, I was like, yeah, we're gonna keep this going until the wheels fall off. If anyone needs to talk about anything or wants to pick my brain on this stuff, I find that the way through a lot of these issues is just like reaching out when you need help and talking about it, you know? And I don't have the hubris to think that there's much more I can do to fix this issue or anything besides that. But that's something I'd be happy to do, so.
To see what he posted the last few years, as well as his daily Murph times, you can head to his Instagram. Andrew often shares on his story other people's Murph times as well, and many of them have been on this journey with him for a few years.
Liam, who I've mentioned a couple times, me and him, we started this together, so he was there from the beginning. There's a long list of people that have done it and been supportive. It goes up some years, it goes down some other years. Kyle Condon, I think we got on in the 3rd year. He's been huge. Coleman Ivory, I think he stopped doing them like a year ago, but he's a beast. My cousin Jack, for sure. Max Kane has been big, posting it, spreading awareness. Nick Salas is another kid, and I'm gonna forget a bunch of them, but maybe 2 years ago, we had like 15 people doing it at once. Friends I met when I was in Colorado, a lot of Liam's friends because he went to Mass Maritime, from Mass Maritime. And it's cool because to varying degrees, everyone will post things or just, you know, kind of get the word out there. And where for a couple of the years we were raising money, we've kind of, this year, for various reasons, not even trying to raise any money, just trying to get awareness out there and see people talk about it. You know, and all those guys have just done that. So the message would be that because I've seen suicide, because it's affected me personally, before this challenge, I thought about it a lot in my life. It's just, whatever, curiosity, or it was something that was very present. And something that I thought about it, the reason, because the two can seem very unrelated. What does having to do this hard workout every day for a month have to do with suicide prevention? And I find that when you're really struggling with things, and especially people that are, you know, contemplating thoughts like that or down that road, the only thing I see that you can do to help yourself is to act, you know? And this is a challenge that's so difficult that no matter how bad, part of it is like, all right, you look back at the end of the month or even while you're doing it, and no matter how bad you felt, no matter how bad you felt about yourself, October 1st, you look back and you're like, all right, maybe I'm a loser, maybe I'm a piece of crap, but at least I could do that. And it's a way of empowering yourself, because the first year we were doing them, before even the challenge and the suicide prevention, and that summer, me and my cousin Jack Kelly, we did a Murph, and we were tired. We'd been working here a ton, and we would run together. We would always sprint the final stretch, and you call it emptying the tank. And right before we were turning the corner, I looked at him and I said, this right here, it was like 5:30 in the morning. I was like, this right here, this is something that nobody can take away from you. No matter what happens today, this is something you get up every morning, you do it, you put in that work, and no one can take this from you. And I strongly believe that you do that, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. You build the bricks of being able, like, forget what anyone else thinks, that you can look at yourself in the mirror and respect yourself.
Who is Thoughts with H? Or what is Thoughts with H? Good question. I would say that Thoughts with H herself is more of like an anonymous type of person that just has a goal of spreading a message. And I think that in a world that things are so cruel and kind of not nice, and mental health is not as normalized to talk about, my goal is to normalize people to talk about mental health. And that's who Thoughts with H started off as, and someone who would just share post-it notes and sticky notes with a quote of the day that was more inspirational and to spread kindness. So I think Thoughts with H is someone who just wants to spread a kind message. Thoughts with H came to be first on Snapchat, where I actually was working at a dentist's office and it was like bad vibes around. So I felt like I should put up a quote of the day and kind of just start with spreading that energy. And I got such great feedback that I started to like put it on my Snapchat story. And eventually my friends would just be like, hey, like really love your quotes, but they like go away within 24 hours. So Instagram was somewhat fairly new. Our generation, sounds old, but our generation was like somewhat newish to Instagram as well. So I started an Instagram page for it. And I decided to keep it anonymous based for the fact that to talk about mental health I wanted to just normalize the fact that these are topics and conversations that are hard to talk about, but doesn't necessarily mean that we shouldn't talk about them. So that's how Thoughts with H started, first on Snapchat, then branched out to Instagram. The inspiration behind creating it, I would say, if we stick to the time of social media where everybody was kind of focusing on putting themselves out there, and I noticed that that's not the best for mental health, and I wanted to just continue, and psychology was the field I was going into for college, and how can I spread my message and have it still be involved with what I want to do in my future. It's kind of how I thought about it. So I felt like spreading a message on Instagram anonymously and not putting my face behind it provided a better energy, because you didn't have to support me, you were supporting the words. And I wanted people to feel like it was a safe space and a comfortable platform where there's no judgments and just pure kindness. So at the end of the day, I feel like we can't help everybody, but everybody can help somebody. So I think that by spreading a message, sometimes I don't know if it reaches people, and sometimes I don't know if people relate to it, but if it's just one person that reads that for that one day, and what keeps me going is the fact that people send these kind messages, and sometimes I don't realize that people do actually benefit from them and enjoy these quotes. So I think to see that they make a difference and make people feel good just influences me to want to branch out and continue it, which is why I started my calendars, because I think that it's hard throughout the year to maintain inspiration and motivation, and especially like post-COVID, I think that a lot of people went through mental health battles, whether they lost people or went through things personally. So I think my calendars go for any age, any person. They are just meant to just help you be on path for a better day. It supports a good cause, spreads a good message, and that's my goal, is to continue growing that. For the most part, I allow myself to find the backgrounds naturally, and based on that, I try to also not post things that I go through, so not make it personal. So I try to make it like a general thing that I'm posting about, and I just pick a good moment. It just comes from the heart, honestly. It's just like when that post feels right to post. But for the most part, I like to find clouds and sunsets. Those are my main two backgrounds. Thoughts with H, when she started, is definitely a different person than who she is now. I think that Thoughts with H back then was just somebody just trying to spread a kind message and just putting some positive words out there. Thoughts with H now is someone who does this all day long, where I am a full-time therapist and I try to spread what I preach to not only in my daily life, but also with my clients. And also, if it shows anybody anything, it's that even the person behind the quotes can also go through things too. So it's mental health is something that this field is growing, and I just want to normalize the fact that everybody goes through something. And if everybody's main goal is to be happy, that if I can just help one person along the way, that's really all I need. I would say when you ask about what my goals would be too with Thoughts with H, it's so much more than what it is just now. I broaden everything I do, and whether that's help out more teens with anxiety and depression, whether it's in schools or setting up pop-ups and events where we can just provide people with the tools and skills that they need to deal with anxiety and depression and everyday mental battles, that's my goal. So Thoughts with H technically started in this exact studio before I even knew it, where I was doing the morning news in high school. And I was someone who enjoyed being in front of the camera, but fast forward that, I fell in love with being behind the camera. And here comes my page where I found a way to be behind the camera, include photography and motivation, positivity, but yet so much not put the pressure on it being on me. And for that, I found great rewards in, and I think it just made me feel really good to spread a good vibe and make people feel good without it just being me. So am I ready to put who H is out there? No, but I think in this world that it's not a secret and I have to be ready for it. So I'm Helena Al-Dwehi and I'm Thoughts with H.
NCM takes pride in covering as much as we can. And every so often, we are lucky enough to capture a moment that only comes once in a lifetime.
On Monday, April 8th, people of all ages from the Norwood community grabbed a pair of eclipse sunglasses to watch a natural phenomenon that won't happen again in New England for another 55 years. Adults from the senior center to students at the Coakley and Norwood High School were out taking a look at the total solar eclipse.
For more than 20 years, NCM has covered the same events again and again, but those events and the people a part of them make this town who we are. The stars were shining when Dancing with the Norwood Stars spun, slid, and made it rain on the dance floor in the Tiffany Ballroom last Friday night. Meg Louise O'King, Sean Connolly, Nina Kelly, Dave Dalton, Emma Petracca, and Sam White did everything they could to be the one to walk away with the coveted Disco Ball Trophy. In the end, Dave Dalton won the Judges Award because of his incredible moves, and Nina Kelly was this year's overall winner for Dancing with the Norwood Stars. After her win, Nina describes how she was feeling in her moment of victory and wanted to thank the people who helped her along the way.
Surreal. I did not expect that at all. Pretty amazing. Oh my God, my family, my friends, my co-workers, the Circle of Hope, Danny, Nina, Colin, of course.
I love how the whole community came together. Like, I'm reminded every time how much help they offer to everybody in need, and it's an amazing cause.
It's been a wild ride. No, this has been a wonderful experience. I'm so blessed to have been part of it, and I can't wait till next year, and hopefully I'll be able to help out. There's nothing we can't do. Honestly, if you think you can't dance, you can. If you think you can't raise money, you can. It's all about empowerment, and it's all about a goal, the Circle of Hope.
The 2024 winner of the Norwood Circle of Hope, Dancing with the Norwood Stars, is Nina Kelly.
Today is the last day of camp. It's the Norwood Recreation. This is junior play camp. We have foam day today, so the fire trucks come. They use Dawn dish soap and they make basically big bubbles that the kids get to run through. We're doing color wars this week, so we had our color poppers, we had counselors with kids doing teams, games, dodgeball, soccer all week, so really exciting day. Water slide, just good stuff. Last day of summer camp. This is the best day. We've been advertising it all summer that the last day of camp is the best day of camp. We've had foam about 4 weeks ago. They loved it. We had Foam Factory at the beginning of the week. They love it. Foam is just like the biggest deal to them. They love water, bubbles, all the fun things. So they've been really looking forward to this. Just last day of camp, good vibes. Everyone's in good spirits. It's an adjustment having no pool, but we found, especially with this age, swimming can be a little iffy. Some of them can't swim, some of them can't reach the bottom. So having this secluded space where we have multiple playgrounds, we have a back space with big grass areas for water, and just being junior play itself has been awesome. I feel like it's been more personable. All the kids can make better connections with us. They all know us, we know them, and it's been awesome. So we really love it here. My favorite part about camp is the camper relationships. I'm so sad to see half of them age out. Junior play is only 2 years because it's going to kindergarten first, so the thought of them all aging out is making me so sad. But I love the ones that have been here all summer, just seriously make crazy connections with. I love seeing them. I love seeing them through schools, throughout the school year. When I see them around town, I get so excited to see them. So really just camper connections are my favorite thing. So this place is awesome. I went to camp. I've been a counselor for 5 years. This is my first year supervising, and it's truly the best place. The kids, I've watched them come out of their shells since the beginning of the summer. It's really such a special place. So love you, Norwood. Love you, camps.
So this is our last day of camp here at Father Max. So we have the slide going on behind us. It's foam day with the fire department, and it's also the last day of our color wars, which is what we've been doing throughout this week here at camp. It's kind of a friendly competition that we have the last week of camp every summer, where all of the counselors group up with, an assortment of kids. We mix all the age groups so that kids are with, other kids that they've never met before. And then we have a bunch of different games for points, including spirit, trivia, other physical games. Soccer is always a popular one, but yeah, it's just a kind of a fun way to celebrate the end of the summer. So we have 2nd to 5th grade in my camp at Play Camp, and then we also have our senior play campers here, but they're on field trips, so we're a little bit less involved with them, but they are here, and they're 6th to 8th grade. It's been great. I've loved it. This is my 3rd summer here at Father Max. It's my 4th summer total. I love this area. I love having the pool right here. We have all these fields, the playground. It's awesome. But yeah, I really not many complaints this summer. If you're here at any time during when we're competing, all of the counselors get into the games and all of the kids do too. And it's really fun to see the kids interact with each other, and then the counselors interact with each other, and then those mixing. It's really fun to see.
NCM is always coming up with brand new ideas, and this year we took it to the streets with 2 brand new segments. Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet Treats with Keeks. Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet Treats with Keeks. Yes, guys, welcome back to Sweet Treats with Keeks. I'm currently in Volos, Greece. Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet Treats with Keeks. We are down at the Common again, and I have a special guest. We have NCM part-time worker, Danielle DiMaria. I got the Funfetti. It's probably my go-to every time I go to Daddy's Dairy. It's got little pieces of cake in there, some sprinkles, and we got some of my favorite, which is the frosting. So let's just take a bite. All right, so we're gonna give this a try. That's the face, that's when you know.
With the cinnamon on.
Cinnamon first.
Yeah. Okay,
sure.
cheers.
All right, cheers.
Wait.
We like to make it warm here.
Oh. Are you kidding me? This is really good. Oh. That smell, it just feels like I'm walking into my Thanksgiving dinner, like with my family. That right there is unbelievable. So, first time trying, let's see. Huh. That's actually really good, really refreshing. It's got a really good creamy, like black raspberry. It kind of reminds me of like that Friendly's black raspberry.
Because if you were in Greece, the pieces wouldn't be so big. It's just in America where that we like make everything bigger.
Oh, that's really good. Perfect amount of like that syrup in there, not too overwhelming. Wow, that is just beautiful.
Look at that. She can't leave without a baklava ice cream.
No, I cannot.
She can't.
Hi, I'm Kiki Thaxter. I'm here down at the Common, and we're going to see what's going on with the people of Norwood today. Celtics or Mavericks, and why?
Celtics in 4. They're just better.
Hello, Norwood. My name is Ron Marshalsea, and here today I am on the street for NCM at the Norwood Farmers Market. Let's ask some questions to the people who attended. Why are you here at the Norwood Farmers Market today, Bill?
Well, I'd like to give back to the community somewhere or another. Paintings I portraits I painted, or books I wrote.
This is Brian Boudreau for another episode of NCM Man on the Street. Right now we're on Washington Street. We're going to learn a little bit about what people think of the Olympics and people's favorite summer memories. All this and more on NCM on the Street. All right, now I am here with
Laurie Rieger.
Your name?
James Morgan.
Okay. Laurie, have you been watching the Olympics?
Yes, the Olympics are great.
Have you been watching the Olympics at all?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite event?
No. I like all of them.
One thing you have planned for this summer?
Oh, one thing I have planned for this summer. Trip to Saratoga.
Welcome to NCM on the Street, and this is featuring Megan's Tiny Mic. We're pulling out the Tiny Mic today, and we're going to go ask some people some questions. And with the NFL season kicking off this Thursday, we're going to ask some people who's going to win the Super Bowl. All right, so we're here with our Tiny Mic. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. New England Patriots all the way. Gerard Mayo is going to do it. He's the new Belichick.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
That's okay. All
right.
New England Patriots all the way.
I'll take the Baltimore Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's got it this year.
Well, when Peter McFarland says to come down, you come down. But actually, here, you want a strawberry? Buy in some strawberry, and then some tomato. Get some salad stuff. So a lot of good items here. So just here supporting Norwood, and it's great seeing people too.
What makes NCM who we are the people outside of the office that support us. And this year we lost one of our biggest supporters, Trish Monahan, who understood NCM's importance to the community. Thank you, Trish, for all you've done to support Norwood Community Media.
Norwood's community is built from many places, but once you come to Norwood, you're always a Mustang. As we close our show, we want to remember how special our community is and what it means to so many. This past year, Norwood lost a local legend. Retired Director of Fine Arts and founder of the NHS music program, Paul Alberta. Paul leaves behind a legacy that he built from the ground up, and his children were able to see it firsthand.
He got the best out of, he used to say all the time, mediocrity. I would take mediocrity and make these kids. He pushed and pushed and pushed. And that was his biggest thing, was I pushed these kids today and it worked. And they listened, and now we're at this level instead of this level. And he just was so vested in it, and making sure everything was excellent. And it was all about giving the best performance and the kids the best experience. And that's what he always said.
After 39 years of teaching in Norwood, the number of students that learned and benefited from the maestro is countless. One student in particular, Kyle Leonard, NHS graduate of 2022, shared a special relationship with Alberta.
Kyle, Dad, they had a very special bond. They,
I wonder, a lot of it is sharing the experience of the anniversary.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly,
the pops.
The pops
Right.
and that anniversary, but they had a relationship prior to that, obviously, as teacher student, and they bonded, play the same instrument. Dad, obviously, he talked about him often when
Dad
we would
said,
come over.
Kyle
He
is
would,
me. He
Yeah.
reminds me
Yeah.
of me
myself.
when I was his age. He
Yeah.
has the drive.
The
He's
drive.
got the ambition. He is everything. I look at him and I see me, and I know he's got what it takes.
So I started studying saxophone with Mr. Alberta in 8th grade, and I took lessons with him all the way up until I graduated, and then even I did a few lessons with him the summer after, because with the Boston Pops, I needed a little help learning a lot of music in a short amount of time. So I'd go over to his house, do some lessons. I think it was our love for music, and he could see the passion I had for it just as much as I could see how much he had for it.
Alberta was an avid clarinet and saxophone player, and one of his prized possessions was a 1936 saxophone.
God, he's had that. I mean, he's as much as we were little. I mean, he played. So not only with Dad teaching, and you would think he had no time to do anything else. Well, he played a lot of gigs and jobs with polka bands and stuff.
He's a recorder.
to get,
and he recorded multiple records and all that stuff. But that was his sax. That was, everything he did was with that.
Mm-hmm.
So he played that thing in his clarinet. That was it. That thing, and it was knowing a little bit about instruments. That was a very nice instrument.
One of Alberta's wishes before he passed was that the saxophone be given to a person special to him.
Kyle would come to the house a lot to visit my parents when my dad was sick, and call all the time, and they had a very special bond. And I was at the house when Kyle came to visit, and after Kyle left, my father said, get in here, get in here. And I was like, okay, what's up? And he goes, my saxophone. He goes, I said, okay. He goes, you know which one? I'm like, yep. He goes, do not forget that goes to Kyle when I pass. And I was like, okay. And he goes, I'm serious. Make that happen. And he goes, I want him to have it.
It was interesting. We did it at the reception after the funeral, and so we brought him kind of out of the mix of people, and we literally, because it was on display, and just grabbed it. And as soon as we came around the corner, the girls were talking to him and handed it to him, and when he broke down. I mean, it was.
It was an emotional
It was
moment
an emotional
for
moment.
everyone, all of us.
It was wonderful to see.
So before that, at the wake, they had the saxophone and his clarinet up on a mantle. I'm gonna be really honest, the second I saw the saxophone, just the waterworks began. Because a few years ago, just especially for me, he took it out of wherever he had it for the last 15, 20 years and asked me to play it for him. So when I saw it at the wake, it brought back those memories. And then at the funeral, at the reception after, they all sat me down, and then they told me that he would like me to have his horn.
What did that mean to you?
I don't even know how to describe it, because I knew we were really close, and I would go see him, every break. I'd see him, honestly, as much as I could. So the fact that he meant as much to me as I meant, he meant a lot to me, and then that really, I knew I meant a lot to him, but it just, the feeling, I don't even know.
Kyle learned more than just music from his time with Alberta that he will carry with him throughout his life.
More than, basically just how to function as a human. Besides the music, he helped me get to a point where I can now play professionally and do what I love for a living. But he also just taught me how to be a great person, and just how how to reach others.
We have a motto here in Norwood: once a Mustang, always a Mustang. And Alberta was the ultimate Mustang.
Everything. Everything.
This is life. It really was in a lot of ways.
From day one.
Yeah.
From day one right up until he passed.
Yeah. This is his place.
Yeah.
You know, I rewatched that interview
Yeah.
last night or the night before, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna take some notes because I knew we were meeting today." And I said, "I'm gonna jot down a few things." But I definitely feel like that last quote. You know, this is my place.
Yeah.
This has been my first job, was Norwood, and I stayed for 39 years. And Norwood is like home to me. Norwood has been everything to me. My whole professional life, I love Norwood. I love the people. This will always be my place.